I am Curran Bhatia. I am chatting with Gabriel Flores Jr., a rising star in the sport of boxing. He's 18 and 0, six knockouts, 20 years old, from Stockton, but living in Las Vegas now. Gabriel, obviously we know what's going on right now in the world with the global pandemic. Where are you? Are you
hmm
safe? Is everything good?
Everything's perfect. Me and Pops are right here in Vegas in our home, just relaxing, training still, staying in shape. So we're safe. We're good.
And we last saw you, of course, in the bubble, June 18th on Top Rank ESPN fights. It was a great performance, and we'll talk about it. But do you have your next fight set? Do you have any idea when that's going to be?
My next fight will probably be like early September, around that time.
And any idea of who you'll be facing at that time?
Not right now. No, we ain't even got a date yet, but we're aiming for early September.
And do you think most likely that's going to be back in Vegas in the bubble, or do you think that would be somewhere else?
I'm thinking the bubble probably. I think they're starting to get out the bubble in August but I'm not sure if it'll be that soon. Because it just everything started happening again. It started spreading more and more. They started talking about getting out the bubble like around August, but uh, all this started happening again. And at that time, it wasn't spreading as much, but there's a second wave and stuff like that coming.
Yeah, that's the issue. And I've said from the beginning that Top Rank, Brad Jacobs, the entire team has been doing a great job in terms of safety protocols, making sure
Yep.
everyone's safe, and still putting on the event so that us as fans can have that entertainment. So speaking of that, it was June 18th against Jose Ruiz. You had a very dominant performance. I mean, you won every single round. You also had a
Mhm.
knockdown. But after the fight, you said that it was actually you were at 50% due to a back injury, right? So, how is the back feeling right now?
The back is recovered. I'm good. Went to see a chiropractor back at home in California, so that helped a lot. A whole bunch. So Uh, it was a good performance, but it was a little disappointing, a little hard on me because I know I could have done a lot better and I could have showed a lot more than what I showed.
And the back injury. You're 20 years old. Obviously, no one likes to get injured in any way. But are you worried at all that that's something that could stay with you throughout your career, having some back issues?
Um, I don't think so. I think I'm good. I don't think I'll come back. Hopefully, but we're gonna fight through it every day. We gotta just make sure that we get to the fight. I told Pops that I'm not 100%, but we're gonna get to this fight and wanna, go good on the next one.
And you hurt the back from what I read in sparring, and then in I think it was the second round, Ruiz maybe hit you in the back, and that kind of caused some issues. Is that what happened there?
Yeah, so my back was like getting recovered in the training when I was training, warming up in the locker room. I could feel it, but it didn't bother me at all. It's just something I felt there, like it was sore or something. And become this like the first minute of the second round, he hit me in my lower back and I activated. And I started getting in real pain. I started to feel it, so I just kept my distance. I didn't want to get too close where he could hit me in my body or my back. So that's why I always keep my distance, move my legs a lot during the whole fight from the second round on. Because if you watch the first round, I was going to body, I was inside, I was mixing it up pretty good. But after that during that second round, I couldn't risk getting hit in the back again.
And has that been something that you've had any issues with before this fight, or was this the first fight that you've had back issues?
This is the first fight. This happened in sparring. This is the injury that happened like I want to say a week and a half before my fight.
Got it. And so just to be clear, moving forward, you're 100% healthy and healed and ready to go.
I'm good. I'm ready to rock and roll.
So you won every single round, like we said. You got the knockdown against Ruiz on June 18th. What would have happened if you were 100% healthy?
I don't think he would have lasted past five. I mean, like I already knocked him down. He was really, really injured, and that's when my injury already occurred. Like he already hit me in my back, and I was already feeling the pain. So I would have thrown at least twice more punches than I threw. I was in there during the second round and on. I was in there like a sparring match, just trying to win the round. I was just trying to win rounds. I wasn't trying to do too much, just because the fact that I knew if I would have got hit in my lower back, it could have been a long night.
and you did that. You were able to bank every round, and even with a safe strategy. So they announced during the fight that you were such a big favorite in the fight that someone bet over $180,000 to win $4,000 on you if you won. Were you aware of that, and what do you think about that?
Yeah, I was aware of it. They asked me about it before the fight, and I mean, it's crazy to take some kind of risk like that. But like I say, you know, I mean, if he knows me, he knows I was gonna come out with a win, and depending on the competition and all that, like this is me in and out the ring, like boxing 24/7. So it's a mindset of being a winner. That's all.
And during that fight, I was live tweeting during the fight, and they were isolating the corner audio. Obviously, there was no fans. We had your father in the corner. You were winning every round easily, but I remember there was one point where your father said he still wanted you to pick up the pace and stay focused. So,
Hmm.
what is it like having your dad in your corner, and then just the dynamic there of trying to have him keep you motivated during a big fight like that?
Oh, it's great because Pops will always push me. We're never satisfied. We could have him almost out in the third round. There's still something I could have done better. So me and Pops are never satisfied with anything going on in the moment. We always want more. We always want to do better. So I think that's why I get better each fight. And that's why I'm gonna keep on climbing to the top.
And we've seen that rise in your career. 18 wins, like we said, no losses. I know that you mentioned your father. You obviously, unfortunately, had the tragedy with your mom. I know that
Hmm.
that's something that you use to motivate you. Do you feel like you are fighting in her honor now moving forward?
For sure. That's why every fight I come out with her shirt on. You know, she was very supportive in everything I did, and especially the boxing. She was a big boxing fan herself, so you know, it was always nice to have her there in my fights. But now I'm continuing her name, make sure her name never dies.
And I know that family is obviously important to you. We mentioned your father in your corner there. I know that your community also, where you grew up in Stockton, is very important, right? I mean, what does Stockton mean for you?
Stockton means everything to me. I was born and raised there. Never lived in any other city besides now. Barely moved to Vegas in February, but before then, it was always Stockton for me. And had a tough upbringing in there. And my goal is just to try to help the youth do better. But Stockton's always had my back, had my support when I fought in Stockton Arena back in May 4th, 2019. It was crazy. Like, it was crazy in there. Over 10,000 people were there, and people had pictures of my mom in there. Like, they just showed real support. Like, they really got my back, and they know I got theirs. So I'm always representing everywhere I go.
And you mentioned that you moved from Stockton to Vegas. Now, obviously, for your career as a fighter, being in Las Vegas is probably a good thing. Was that a tough
Uh,
decision to make, though, to relocate to Las Vegas?
very. Pop's been wanting to move since 2017. Pop's been wanting to move for a while, but I was always the one holding us back. I wasn't sure. I didn't want to move yet. I didn't want to go away from home. But I finally told him I'm ready. And so we moved. And it's been doing real good for me in my career.
And you moved in February, and then you were hit with the pandemic. So when that first happened, I mean, was that extra tough saying, wow, I relocated my whole life here, and now my boxing career is going to be on pause for a little bit as well?
I didn't really think of it like that. I know Top Rank's a great promotional company. So I know it was going to be too long before I got back in the ring. So I was still training, making sure I was getting ready. I was right here in the house working out. Found a gym. I worked out in the gym. So I made sure I was ready just in case I got the call. But the pandemic didn't really worry about me. Like, just making sure me and my family were healthy. That's the only thing. But you know, I just feel I always got to stay positive.
And in terms of Stockton and your community, I read that in elementary school they asked you what you want to be when you grow up, and you wrote professional boxer. Is that true?
Ever since I could remember, I always wanted to be a boxer. I was in preschool talking about wanting to be a fighter. I never had dreams of being anything else but being a boxer.
And you were signed to Top Rank at just 16 years old. I interviewed recently Xander Zayas, who's another young fighter who signed to Top Rank at a young age. What went
Hmm.
into making that decision? You chose not to go the way of other fighters, maybe having a longer amateur career or trying for the Olympics or anything like that. You chose to turn professional pretty early. What went into making that decision?
Well, they came to me with the offer. First, Floyd tried to come get me before Top Rank, but we weren't too interested in that and the way that they moved and everything. But yeah, Floyd tried to come get me when I was in Puerto Rico, and that didn't happen. And then Top Rank reached out with the help of Rick Morrigan at that time, and it went good. We had a great contract right there, beautiful contract. It was like Olympic contract, so we didn't even have to go to Olympics to get that great contract. We sat, we thought, we looked at the Olympics, we watched the Olympics. We weren't too happy with it. There was no headgear. Easily could get cut by headbutt, get scar tissue from amateurs. They weren't really promoting boxing in the Olympics so much. It was like really hidden. So we just decided that pros is for us. I mean, but we didn't. We weren't 16. I wasn't 16 and thinking about I want to go pro now. It just came to us, and then we started thinking about it because I never thought I would have been going pro at such a young age.
And when you say Floyd, does that mean Premier Boxing Champions or Mayweather Promotions came to you?
Mayweather Promotions.
And what was the main reason that you didn't want to sign with Mayweather Promotions?
I don't really want to get into that, to be honest. But it just they came to talk to us, and then it didn't really go how we wanted it to go. It didn't meet me and Pops' expectations, so that's why.
Got it. And a new addition to your, I think a fairly new addition, I believe, is that you've signed with manager Jay Prince. He is obviously involved in Shakur Stevenson, Andre Ward, and others. So, what has that partnership been like?
It's been great so far. I mean, I couldn't ask for any more. Jay's been doing his job and more, so we're happy with Jay and Antonio Leonard. So I mean, we're just gonna keep on partnership going, and we're gonna keep doing our thing and right to the top.
And that is the plan, obviously. You've fought at 130, above 130 as well. So, what weight class do you think ideally suits you most right now?
I think 130, 130 pounds. I'll go for a title there.
And when you look at some of the names at 130, Leo Santa Cruz, Burchelt, Herring, Tevin Farmer, Jojo Diaz, Shakur Stevenson. I mean, what do you think about the fighters in that division? How do they rank? Who do you think's at the top in the division?
Well, probably at the division, probably for Chow. I'm thinking that's just my guess, but it don't really matter at that point because everybody's gonna fight everybody. At every weight division, there's top dogs. At every weight division, there's big competition. It's the professionals, so ain't no need to worry about a name or anything like that because no matter what weight class you end up at and you're trying to get the title, there's gonna be big competition.
Absolutely. And I actually spoke to Otha Jones III earlier today. I know that you guys had a rivalry back in the day, right? Is that someone that hopefully you hope to one day face in the ring?
Yeah, I mean, me and Otha Jones, we had our great fights in the amateurs. Had the rings packed, so many people were there just to watch us as amateurs. But of course, we could do that for sure. We're down the line. I'm trying to get in there with anybody. Like I'm trying to be great, so I'm not gonna shy away from nothing like that.
And we know that you also spent time with Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia. A lot's been made in terms of their rivalry as well. When you were witnessing them going at each other back in the day, I mean, who do you think got the best of it? If you had to guess.
Somebody just asked me that question. Like they fought like 5, 6 times. I've only seen like two fights, and each time I saw Devin win. So Devin looked like to be the more superior fighter.
And I know that you've said that with Ryan Garcia, he's got speed, he can punch, but he's not all the way there. I know you said that. Why do you feel that he's not all the way there?
Uh, I don't know. I just feel like he's just not fundamentally all the way there. If that makes even more sense, being more specific. Like I said, he could do his thing. He's fast. He could hit hard, and that's gonna take him as far as he could go. But like I said, there's gonna be big. There's big competition. This is pro, so I mean, I wish him the best. We'll see how far he goes. But like I
And
said, I'm not worried about anybody else out there. I'm worried about me.
and if the weight does work out, is Ryan Garcia someone that you'd like to face down the line?
For sure. For sure. That'd be a big money fight. I mean, this is the business. This is boxing. This is boxing. This is a sport, but this is also a business. So that's one fight I'd love to have.
And you're obviously a young fighter, 20 years old, like we said. So when do you think you'd be ready for a world title opportunity?
I'm thinking within the next 12 months. And if it's longer, it's longer. No rush. I'm not really after it, really rushing like that. But that's just how I feel it's gonna come.
And what are your goals overall in this sport? I mean, do you want to unify the division? Do you want to move up and be like a multi-division champion? What are you thinking about in terms of your goals in the sport of boxing?
So I'm gonna be a world champion at 130. They want to go to 135. They want to get a world title right there. They want to unify. They want to keep on going. We're not conquer each division that we go to as far as we go pound for pound. I'm looking to be the greatest. So I'm looking to get in the ring with everybody. So it's gonna happen. Time will tell.
And when you look at what you want to achieve, I mean, are you focused on the biggest money fights in terms of making money? Are you focused on legacy, leaving a legacy in this sport, pound for pound rankings? I mean, what is your main motivation?
I'm looking for legacy. The money's gonna come. I'm gonna eat regardless, no matter what. I mean, you see my team. I got the right people on my team to make sure that I'm gonna live comfortable. I got Jay Prince with me, my guy. He's gonna make sure that I'm getting what I'm supposed to be getting. They blessing me. Like everybody around me is to make sure we eat. So like that's gonna come naturally. That's gonna come naturally. But so for sure, the legacy is on top of my list.
And so just to close it out, we know that you'll be back in the ring soon, and we're all looking forward to seeing that, especially with you 100% healthy this time around. What would be your final message to your fans, your supporters, people who are following your career?
My message is just I'm getting better and better, and the competition is coming higher. I'm getting in the ring of better competition, and that's only gonna bring out a greater me. So keep on watching. I got a lot to show.
Absolutely. Gabriel Flores Jr., undefeated, rising star in our sport, representing Stockton. I want to thank you so much for the time. Congratulations on all the success that you've had, and I'm definitely looking forward to continuing to see you grow in your career.
I appreciate you for the call.